Drew, you know I'm losing respect for Bernie Sanders.
Ooh.
Now, you go, why did you respect Bernie Sanders in the first place? And I'd go, well, because he felt authentic to me. And anyone's authentic, I have some degree of respect for. I never felt like Elizabeth Warren was authentic. I felt like Bernie Sanders was authentic. I felt like Andrew Yang is authentic. I never felt like Hillary Clinton was authentic. I felt Trump was authentic in a much different way than Yang, but I still felt like this is who he was.
Right.
So Bernie, I used to just go, well, he's authentic. You know, Biden is just licking his finger and putting it in the air and trying to figure out where he can get a couple of votes. And I'm now starting to realize that I think Biden's just a politician. I don't know that he has thoughts. But by the way, I don't know that Mitt Romney has a lot of thoughts. I think they're just politicians. I want to be voted. I want to be voted into this position. I don't have real thoughts about anything. My job is I'm a politician.
I get it.
Sort of like I'm going to be a coach in the NFL. It's like, what team do you want to coach? Like, I want to be a coach in the NFL. But who's your team? What's your scheme? What's your plan? What's your offense? I want to be a coach. Like that. I'm starting to realize
that's a
that
little child think there too.
Well, yeah, I'm starting to think that like Mitt Romney on one side and Joe Biden on the other side, I think that's who they are.
Yep.
I don't even know that they're different than one another. And I don't know that either one of them wouldn't be willing to adopt either one of their positions depending on the amount of votes that came with that position.
Right.
I used to think Bernie was sort of authentic. I realize maybe he still is authentic, but he's not a clear thinker. He doesn't think clearly.
He doesn't think things through.
Yeah, I was watching him and like Anderson Cooper, and Anderson Cooper was like, you know, you're kind of singing the praises of Fidel Castro in Cuba, and he's like, hey, it's always, all the negative stuff. He started a literacy program. No one talks about that. So
God.
What am I supposed to do? Condemn him? He started a literacy program. That's a good thing. Is that a bad? You think that's a bad thing? And it's like, I was thinking, Hitler was a vegetarian. Like if everyone has,
Hitler got the economy going like crazy.
We have the Volkswagen Bug because of Hitler. Like, so your logic is the guy takes over this in a horrible regime. Executes his opponents,
ruins economy,
confiscates everything, ruins economy, and locks up people in gulags who disagree with him. But the ballet's good.
Yeah. So,
hey, Bernie, nobody said these people didn't do sort of micro good things. Nobody. It's impossible to say that about anybody in any regime.
Harvey Weinstein made some good movies.
Yeah, the micro or macro.
Yep.
This is an unclear way of thinking.
Oh, it's worse than it's the same thing that says, "I know you are, but what am I?" It's the same thing he did when that woman accused him of not paying his fair share. You should pay your fair share. It's like, I'm not talking about policy.
You can. Oh well, Gary's got the clip, and then later on, Anderson was kind of pressing him on, like, how are you going to pay for it? How much is all this free college and free health care? And how much is it going to cost? And he's like, I don't know what it's going to cost. We haven't figured out the total cost. But what we have figured out is that we're going to tax Wall Street and we're going to pay for it. And Anderson, because he's doing his job, goes, well, how do you know you can pay for it from taxing Wall Street if you don't know what the amount is?
Right. What it's
and he's
cost.
like, I'm not going to go over every nickel and dime with you. It's like,
I'm not asking for that.
No one said that.
Yeah, I just want a general.
Give us how much, and then if it's going to cost $100 billion, and you think get $110 billion from Wall Street, then we're good.
Yeah.
But if it's going to cost $100 billion and you get $9 billion from Wall Street, then there's going to be a deficit. So that's what the reporter is asking, and then you're saying, I can't go over every nickel and dime. By the way, completely intellectually bankrupt way to answer questions. That is certainly not what is being asked. He knows it. It's a way to get out of it. Like, I don't have every number on me, like that sort of thing.
Maybe he doesn't know it. I don't know.
No, he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
The answer is we don't know the total number. we do feel confident that the number we get from taxing Wall Street will be good enough to cover it, not to accuse the person of asking these granular questions like, your mom's.
But this is his thing. Why don't you do it? Yeah. I don't know. I know. What am I? It's like, whoa.
He's an idiot. He's also arrogant. For a guy who's really done nothing in his life, he's a fucking pompous ass. All right, we'll play the clip. Sorry.
Back in the 1980s, Sanders had some positive things to say about the former Soviet Union and the Sandinistas in Nicaragua.
And everybody was totally convinced.
Here he is explaining why the Cuban people didn't rise up and help the U.S. overthrow Cuban leader Fidel Castro.
He educated the kids, gave them health care, totally transformed the society.
We're very opposed to the authoritarian nature of Cuba. But, it's unfair to simply say everything is bad. When Fidel Castro came into office, you know what he did? He had a massive literacy program. Is that a bad thing? Even though Fidel Castro did it?
There's a lot of dissidents imprisoned in Cuba.
That's right, and we condemn that. Unlike Donald Trump, let's be clear.
All right.
I do not think.
Is that a bad thing? All right, I don't know. So would you guys like someone to take over this country that had a literacy program but then confiscated everyone's property and locked up people they disagreed with them, and you had to live under, and you made $21 a month income and destroyed the economy and the infrastructure, and you had to drive cars from the 50s. But when the USA Today hits your doorstep, although you won't have a doorstep, but when you got your hands in the USA Today, you could read it cover to cover with immense, incredible accuracy.
I think
he's an idiot. He's an idiot, and people.
He would have to defend Hitler in the same way.
And when people interview him,
Stalin,
people when they interview him are not doing their job. There's not time to back off. You got to keep going. So what? The guy destroyed an economy and destroyed lives. So what? He had a literacy program. Bernie's an idiot. He makes bad points, and he gets away with it. The people interviewing him don't press him on the bad points. I mean, Anderson said, well, but a lot of people being locked up. He was like, yeah, okay. And we disagree with that. Okay. So you disagree with that aspect of him?
I think Hitler's the perfect model.
I don't like it because it gets brought up too much, but I do like the fact that you support a guy who locks people up, who disagree with him. But he used the word transform, and that's the scary word. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
He wants to transform. It's like, this guy transformed Cuba. Yeah, he did. It's a pile of shit. So, what do you think people got into fucking truck inner tubes and tried to float to Florida in shark-infested waters for? Because he transformed it in a good way? Or were they, you think the people that got into fucking rafts and tried to float to Florida, why didn't they weigh in the literacy program? Why didn't they factor that in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. This guy's a lunatic. But here's the thing about him. It's not so much, I don't look at him like, oh, he's going to fuck up the economy. I look at him like he's a pompous, arrogant, know-nothing, lifelong bureaucrat who has no fucking experience in the world, has no idea how things work, and never did, and has taken this to the grave. And there's a bunch of young, dumb people who think it's a good idea. They have no idea what he does or what the potential residue and more than side effects, but what the potential danger of that doofus running anything. Would you want that guy running your car wash? All cars are free. Yeah, Bernie, we got to charge more for the vans because they're bigger. No, Yugos, vans, they're all free. Like, everyone gets a 7-hour lunch. Would you want him running your car wash? Do you think that it would work?
No.
Why not?
Because he has no real world sensibility.
He seems to be the opposite. He has opposite thoughts.
Yeah.
His thing would be like, but if I can get all the other businesses around us to chip in, then we can have a 7-hour lunch. Yeah, but they're not going to chip in. I'll force them to chip in. Mm-hmm. Now we're getting into some dangerous territory. Mm-hmm. No. I'll be voted block leader, and then I'll make them chip in so we can have 4-hour lunches and we don't have to charge for vans. Mm-hmm. Okay, Bernie. Very interesting way to go through life. He is taken, you know what? People take him much too seriously. He's not a good thinker. He's not a clear thinker. He just is not a clear thinker.
It's certainly not under pressure. That's for sure.
His answers are adolescent and nonsensical. No, look, Fidel Castro loved baseball. Okay, baseball's our pastime. Okay, so why not just get a guy who runs baseball, who loves baseball, to run our country? Makes sense to me. He loves literacy. He loves baseball. Okay, but he has gulags. So we don't want that. We can pick out a bunch of stuff that he likes. Sure, he likes his kids. Does he have? Yeah. Son's running the place now, right? Is his son running the place? Brother's running the place.
He's got a bunch of kids by a bunch of women.
What?
Shocking.
He likes fucking strange pussy? Oh, so wait a minute. I'm turning the corner on this guy. He likes baseball. I like baseball. I like strange pussy. I like literacy programs. This is going to be great.
Diverse.
Diverse.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. It sounded weird.